Finfine News, Finfine News Network. I'm your host, Sibel. In news on the OLA, in the last few days, Abiy Ahmed's defense force, the Amhara region military, the Amhara region army, around 10,000 members of the Eritrean army, and the Afar regional militia have made last-ditch efforts to retake some towns and positions that were previously lost to the OLA and the TDF, located around Bate in the Wallo zone of Oromia. However, the OLA and the TDF were able to successfully push back against those offensives. In another report, a small town known as Babo Gambel, located in the West Wallaga zone, has joined the list of towns that have been taken by the OLA in Western Oromia. And other reports have indicated that the OLA has intensified its efforts to encircle cities such as Nakamte and Ambo, which are located hundreds of kilometers west of the capital. Meanwhile, in the central zone, the OLA has continued to advance on the capital of Finfine and is supposedly preparing to launch an attack on the capital soon. That's according to some reports received from the OLA. In other reports, Prime Minister Abiy's National Army has continued to attack civilians using drones, and there have also been reports of the army burning homes. For example, in Wallo, located in northern Oromia, more than 70 people have reportedly been killed in drone attacks, and 2 civilian homes were also reportedly burned down in the western Wallaga zones by the ruling party's security forces. Another story here, a young Oromo man named Kadir Shuke from the East Hararghe zone of Oromia has reportedly been beaten and later shot dead by the ruling party's militia on his way back from the market. Again, a graphic image we're showing here of Kadir Shuke's body after he was beaten and shot dead by a militia. And locals described that Kadir was not affiliated with the OLA. However, he was reportedly shot because the militia accused him of being affiliated with the OLA or trying to help the OLA. In other news, an increasing number of Amhara Americans have reportedly recently joined the civil war in Ethiopia in order to fight against the OLA and the TDF. And we're going to list off a few of the names of those examples of people from America who have come and joined the Amhara regional army. So one of those is Tamanye Beyene, and we have a video here of him after he joined the army in Ethiopia with the Amhara regional forces. So again, that is an example of an American man, Tamanye Beyene, who joins the army. We'll put up another example of another American man who has joined. This one is named Neamin Zeleke. Another example of a prominent member of the Amhara military who holds an American passport is an American. And then additionally, another example of one of those Americans is Mokonnen Kebede. And FNN has previously reported on a video that was posted by Mokonnen Kebede, in which he states that he would like to, he calls for the Oromia state to be erased from the map. So here's another video of him.
ተብሏል።
So again, that's several examples that we're seeing of American Amharan people who have come back to actually join the civil war, fighting for Amhara forces against the OLA and the TDF back in Ethiopia. In other news, a report from the Addis Standard out last week has revealed the rapidly deteriorating situation that many residents of the Oromo special zone within the Amhara region are facing. So this report out this past week indicates clashes that have been going on between government forces and the TPLF that have expanded into the Oromo special zone in that Amhara region and have led to multiple deaths and injuries, and have also forced many other residents to flee their homes. For example, one example listed in the report is covering the town of Bati, which has reportedly been hit with waves of airstrikes that killed 37 innocent civilians and wounded 42 others, according to a resident on the ground that spoke with the news outlet. Additionally, another resident of Dawa Chafa has also reported airstrikes in that area, one of which killed at least 9 women and girls as they were collecting water from an outside water pump. And another additional shooting, public shooting of an elderly person on the side of the road by Amhara militants. And another anonymous resident of Kemise is quoted in the report attesting to violence and displacement in that area, the area around Kemise, with many residents fleeing their homes as survival necessities have been harder and harder to come by, or the supply has been cut off entirely, and violence has continued. In other news on Oromo political prisoners, Abiy's security has transferred Colonel Gamachu Ayana to an unidentified prison after Abiy Ahmed tried to coerce him to support his regime, and the OLF leader reportedly refused. So we're hearing reports that this interaction went on while he was imprisoned. And reportedly, allegedly here, if Gamachu would not have supported Abiy's regime, Abiy would have potentially killed him. So those are reports here of what might have gone on while he was imprisoned, and he's now been moved, of course, to an unidentified location. And this comes as the safety of multiple Oromo political leaders, which FNN News has reported on, multiple of these leaders have been detained and remain without trials or have not received justice, and many have not even a crime which they committed has not been named. Gamachu Ayana, of course, is an OLF Central Committee member who was released from jail shortly before he was again rearrested on May 17th. In other news on Oromia, the Oromo Federalist Congress has released a statement calling for an end to violence in Ethiopia last week. We'll put that statement here. So this statement lists several necessary steps that the OFC says should be taken to prevent destabilization and political turmoil in the region as the civil war continues and as rebel forces continue towards the capital of Finfinne. So those steps listed by the OFC include establishing an interim government that can maintain order and facilitate discussion between key parties, and it also condemns condemns the expulsion of the OFC from elections last summer, as well as calling into question the legitimacy of the results of that election. Some other steps recommended by the OFC include a ceasefire to allow humanitarian aid to get to those who are in need of it in the country, and also the immediate release of any political prisoners, including Oromo leaders that have been jailed by Prime Minister Abiy. And it also calls on the international community. Here's a quote from there. As the ongoing civil war has destroyed the economy of our country and millions are facing starvation, we call upon the international community to support the new transitional arrangement by providing diplomatic, financial, and material supports for the workings of the new transitional government so as to ensure security as well as the well-being of our citizens. So again, that's a report recently released by the OFC detailing steps to prevent or tone down the harm by preventing destabilization in the region. In international relations news, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for an unconditional and immediate ceasefire throughout Ethiopia. And Guterres made those comments during his visit to Bogota, the capital of Colombia. And he said in a joint address with Colombian President Ivan Duque, quote, "The peace process in Colombia today inspires me to make an urgent call to the protagonists of the conflict in Ethiopia for an unconditional and immediate ceasefire." And that comes as more and more figures in the international community, as well as political leaders from abroad, have been taking notice of the situation in Ethiopia as tensions are rising and conflict continues. And those are all of our reports today. We'll continue to update you on the progress of the OLA Army and other issues related to Oromia. Once again, thank you for watching FNN News, Finfine News Network, and I'm your host, Sibel.